Happy June 2nd, y'all. I know I did an end of May, so this is probably similar, but I've not been able to show the back. This is our back garden right behind the hoop house here. We've got some popcorn growing, some sweet corn, lots of squashes, cantaloupes, and watermelons. And here are some potatoes. I got a big shadow here, but potatoes taking up a lot of space here. And then intermixed are a whole bunch of hardy tomatoes. So along the fence line there, right back in there, I've got all my San Marzanos. Here I've got my, you can see the Brandywines coming in nice and strong. Amazing. And then I've got also some sweet potatoes down underneath our feet and some green beans. These squashes are taking off. Lots of pretty green beans, hopefully some purple beans coming. You can see those pretty purple flowers creating those purple green beans. Those are the Mardi Gras blend. So I've got a variety of potatoes, both russets, we've got fingerlings, we've got those beautiful purple potatoes in there. Down here we've got some sweet corn intermixed with some squash because that will kind of trellis underneath the corn now that it's nice and strong. Got a little walkway here in between where you can see there are some sweet potatoes underneath the corn there. So I'm really trying and experimenting with a lot of plant partners. If you've heard that term before, where a lot of plants coincide with one another to help one another with pests and diseases. We've got some peppers kind of intertwined here, and basil, as you know, or maybe you don't know, basil does a really nice job as kind of a cover crop. If you can get basil microgreens underneath your tomatoes, that just kind of deters pests because they're very fragrant. So it doesn't always work, but it has for me in the past. So I'm giving it a try again, and I'll keep you posted out here. I've got some acorn squashes, some delicatas, some spaghetti squashes underneath my feet here. So we'll see. I don't know. And one lone sunflower out here, but we will see what exactly comes of this space. It's my first time. I tilled up the ground early spring and got everything planted that first frost date of April. So it is thriving out here. So that's just a quick look at the back garden. And then moving you through the hoop, actually got rid of a lot of things. Got some birdies in here this morning. All of our flowering broccoli is seeded, so we're just letting that dry so we can grab the seeds for next year. Some more squashes, some baby micro arugula. Arugula and greens are something that we'll be planting in a lot of these sparse areas that you see. We've got some worms in here laying eggs in my kale, so I don't know how long this beautiful blue dazzling kale will last. We do have to start harvesting some of this beautiful red curly leaf kale. Got some flat leaf parsley that's doing really well here. I still have some cabbages because we can't eat them fast enough. This back bed here is kind of getting taken over by this big tomatillo plant, but underneath the beets and the squashes are thriving. They're doing so great. I just pulled like 4 or 5 beets out of the ground. So, and oh, this is exciting. I know this might be a little bit longer of a video for you, but these are our fava beans back here. And I just saw today that we have our first fava beans on. Can you see those? Isn't that exciting? Those actually get much bigger than that. And down here we've got some beautiful squash. I think this is a spaghetti squash. More flowering broccoli that I planted later. So this is a really thriving bed. Both of these beds back here have done really well. I think it's just they're a little bit higher up. Lots of kales still, as you can see. And tomatoes are starting to thrive. I've got a lot of brassicas out of this area. This is our dill. We'll just do a big old harvest in about a week. And we even have some zinnias that are starting to pop here underneath the tomato plants. And we've got this whole area here that we can let this cucumber kind of trellis along. And we'll plant some more cucumbers, more warm weather crops. So you can see some squashes. We got some green beans that are coming up really nice, and alongside some peppers. Remember, green beans or any type of beans are really great to give nitrogen back to the soil. So I always like to kind of plant them in succession with hardier crops that take a lot of nitrogen, like tomatoes and beets, and even like broccolis and brassicas can bring boron back into the soil as well. Some more baby squashes here alongside the chard. The chard will last all year. It just does such a nice job thriving. Look how pretty and bright yellow and red those are. I'm waiting so patiently for these cabbages to turn in on themselves. They do need a little bit cooler weather, so I'm not sure if they'll fully go, but we'll see. This guy is down here is doing the best so far of the group. Some more tomatoes are on. We have over 30 varieties of tomatoes. Remember, everything that you see in this high tile is or has been grown by seed from High Mowing Seeds. I am not sponsored, but maybe someday I will be. These are all in here. These are all Brussels sprouts that might just have to hang until it gets cooler, but they're going to hang out underneath all the tomatoes, which is nice. More beans coming up. And this is our second round of Romanesco. It'll be a smaller bit because they do like the cooler weather. Tomatoes galore inside. And this is kind of another plant partner that I had planned. And so far it's doing well. But I don't know if I should have planted the cabbage a little bit earlier so it had closed up on itself yet. But this guy is looking real nice. Just got to get that onion out of the way so it can keep closing its leaves. But they're doing it. They sure are. The tomatoes are thriving. I'll explain in a couple of shorts different ways that you can prune your tomatoes. There's lots of ways to do it. Up here we got some more tomatillos, and if you've not ever seen a tomatillo, these are purple tomatillos, and they're really fun to grow. Let's see if we can. Aren't those neat? Now those little pockets or those little pods are empty right now. The tomatoes will grow over time inside of them, and that's just going to protect them. That sticky little thing will help keep bugs out. If you've ever peeled a tomatillo, they're really sticky. Those help keep the bugs out. So some dino kale down here that hasn't been found by the bugs yet. Some more peppers mixed in, and then we've got all of our garlic, onions, and some late brassicas that probably will just be there as bug bite for anything else that we just, kind of let them eat. Some more flat leaf parsley. So that's the hoop. July 2nd, we'll see you, June 2nd, we will see you in July and show you what we're growing. Hopefully some ripe tomatoes and cucumbers you'll see.